What's going on, class? This is my persuasive speech, and I'm doing it over the problem of should student athletes be paid. I am for student athletes being paid. Um, we've all heard of controversies of student athletes being paid. Two of the most recent ones are Johnny Manziel, who was paid for signing autographs by another individual, and Reggie Bush, who was paid by the actual school USC for they bought him and his mom a new house to live in while he was off at school, and they bought him a car. Um, those resulting in punishment, Johnny Manziel was suspended for the first half of the season opener, and Reggie Bush was his Heisman Trophy was taken away, as long as USC's 2004 national title. I'll be talking about the pros, the cons, and pretty much just the expert analysis on this topic. The pros are, student athletes work very, very hard. On top of, going and performing at a high level, they also have to stay eligible in the classroom. That being said, it's important that you have all your classes before practice, because if not, what happens is you have all your classes, you have practice, and then you have to go back to class. And that's kind of just like work. Nobody wants to, go to class, go to work, leave work, and go straight back to class. Nobody wants to do that. That's very, very tough. So we work very, very hard to make sure our schedules are in line, our grades are good, and we stay eligible so we can perform at a high level. Not to say that our regular college students don't work hard. We're just not an average college student, because just like I previously mentioned, not only do we have to work hard on the field to perform at a high level, we also have to work hard in the classroom to stay eligible for stuff, to be on the field. So, just imagine going home from work and, studying all night, just because, you have to stay eligible. If you can't stay eligible, then, you're no good to the team or to the program, Another pro would be a reward for these student athletes, because like I just previously mentioned, they work very, very hard, and it'd be a little reward just for them working very hard. It's a little reward, a little bit of money. Here you go, who doesn't like money? At the same time, they're putting their name out there representing the school. They're not representing the president, the dean, the administration, the student body. They're representing themselves. They're representing the school with themselves. So they're giving the school a good name on the field. And it's like I said, it's just a little reward for representing the school in a positive way. Some people might argue that student athletes should not be paid, and the cons are that you have 4 years of eligibility. So once your 4 years of eligibility is up, you can no longer play that sport in college. But what some people might do is they might take advantage of the system and play 4 years of that sport, and then go and play 4 years of another sport. So if I'm at a high school and I come and I play 4 years of college baseball, I can go, right after that 4 years, I can go for another 4 years and play 4 years of college basketball. Um, you know, Another thing they could do is stop going to class altogether. Once they stop going to class, that means no degree. No degree means no job, and that everybody wants that. That's ultimately everybody's goal is to have a good job. To make a little bit of money, to live comfortably. Who doesn't want to live comfortably? Everybody wants to live comfortably, and so if you get paid, you might like the money a little too much, stop going to school, and start going, working at, HEB or Walmart or something like that. Which there's nothing wrong with. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, you do want to graduate and get an even better job, get a higher, be the manager, not just the cashier of HEB and stuff like that. Um, Experts do say that it is time to start paying our student athletes. Um, it's their name, but it's not their money. They work hard. They represent the school in a positive way. They do all these things for the school, but they don't get anything in return. Yes, some get scholarship, but what happened to the 2 or 3% of walk-ons that don't get anything? It's very, very tough for these student athletes to do what they do and to not get any reward. Yes, experience, all that stuff. Being looked at by professional scouts is, you can't put a price on things like that. Memories you're going to make, you can't put prices on those things. But something to give the student athletes is a little bit better than, not giving them anything. Millions are brought into these schools' athletics department every single year, and it's sad to say that our student athletes don't see one penny. You know, you millions of dollars, millions. In football season, I'm sure the big schools, Alabama, Oregon, Texas, Texas A&M just recently, Oklahoma, all the big schools. I'm sure they bring in a couple, close to probably $1 million in itself in football season. Um, and to not let get their not to and to not give these student athletes anything in return, I think is just very, very unfair. I don't think it's right. It doesn't sit well with me. Um, Although now it is illegal to pay our student athletes, we still see it. Um, we still see and hear about players getting paid, and but we also do see the consequences that these players and programs play. Like I said, Johnny Manziel got paid by another individual $7,500 to sign autographs. Right after he won the Heisman Trophy, they found out, boom, they suspended him for. It was only one half, because it wasn't the school. In Reggie Bush's case, it was the school that was paying for his mom's house, his car, and so in that case, being they punished Reggie for accepting by taking away his Heisman Trophy, and they punished UFC for giving by taking away their 2004 national title. In conclusion, paying student athletes needs to be reviewed by the NCAA. There's no two questions about it. You know, um, NCAA needs to have a nationwide meeting or do whatever they do to discuss the proposal of possibly paying our student athletes. They work very, very hard, and they deserve a little bit of something. It doesn't have to be much. Like I said, a little bit, 500, 1,000, 2,000, whatever it may be. A little bit's better than nothing. Because you know what? Truth is, most families can't afford college. Most families, it's very, very tough for families to afford sending their son or daughter off, in another city, another state, sometimes even another country to go to school to play sports. It's very, very tough. It's very, very expensive. A proposal that could be brought up is universities could teach, they can make it a requirement for the student athletes sometime in those 4 years that they are in school. Um, somewhere in that semester, in those 4 years, one of those semesters, they must is requirement that they must take a money management class, because money management is a very, very good life skill to have, and it's something that that you're gonna need to learn. It could teach them stuff like, so you're just not paying them, you're also teaching them how to spend the money. Um, like I said before, just to close it off, the student athletes, they bring in millions and millions of dollars a year for these athletic programs and universities, and for them not to see even a penny, I mean that's crazy. I think they should see something. Like I said, it doesn't have to be much. Even 2,000 might be a little too much. Maybe a couple $100 a semester. Maybe $1,000 a semester. Something. Just depending on, I don't know what, something that would be decided within the athletics program. That's it. Thank you for listening.